hooting and hollering. It was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 3.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Trying the left side with Kamara. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Kamara trying the right side. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. A 10th carry for Kamara. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out through.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Carr's throw complete here to Waller.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we want...
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Again, this is Kamara. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. So Dalton now.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Raiders force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
He hits Adams complete. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. The final shot here before half for Carr. And it's complete to Adams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
From the 30 on second down, Carr. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Well, third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Hey, nothing to see here. Just your standard fourth down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 15-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw on second down. Carr. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That pass was into the end zone, but it was tipped up in the air, and that leads to a few anxious moments. Who's going to come up with it? Defenders want that ball knocked to the ground at the worst, hopefully intercepted. In this case, you've given a chance for the offense to come by and pick it up, but instead, it ends up on the ground.
Here's Carr to throw. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0.
Saints, nothing.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing, and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he'll power his way up near the 25. Andy Dalton. Open man is Michael Thomas.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. To throw here, Dalton. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Carr going to go on 4th down. And Waller taking it in over the middle.
And he is going to have a Raiders first down as they wind up getting 13 there on 4th down.
So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
What now?
To throw his car. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If he continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame him?
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. From the 40 now on second down. Carr.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down.
The offense on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Here's Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
On fourth down, Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr.
And the Raiders have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it is 28-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Again, it's Kamara. And some space here. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Coming left is Kamara. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. On 2nd and 11 now. Dalton. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 30. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 30-yard line. Running with Kamara.
And he's got it down to the 28. 2nd down and 8.
Dalton sets up play action. Here's Johnson with a reception.
And he will be brought down with a 1st and goal coming up as we have come upon the 2-minute warning.
A good pickup there, a 22.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara,
a 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Saints are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Carr going to look to throw. That's the tight end, Jesper Horsted.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
Carr down to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw again.
Puts another into the hands of Waller.
And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 20-yard line. Into the red zone, it's Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Pretty secure lead, but what's the harm in adding another touchdown, right? At least that's what they were thinking on that snap. If he wants to add more points, got to bring the throw down just a little bit and keep it in the end zone.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. And it's caught. Touchdown.
A pair of teammates at Fresno State connecting there. Derek Carr to Devontae Adams.
As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Saints 7. Daniel Carlson taking on for Las Vegas.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Pulls it in at the 13. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end.
This was a really nice display, Charles, of complimentary football, especially how much they were humming in the second half to pull away and get the victory. Really a complete performance.
And so much fun when you're able to have everyone contribute, both sides of the ball. You go back in the locker room and you just savor it, right? Because that's what football's all about. A true team game, and they got it done in this one.